Wow, what an amazing backdrop to a garden. I'm high up in the Aberdeenshire hills. In fact, I'm 1,125 feet, which makes this one of the highest gardens in the UK. This is Tillypronie, and I'm about to meet head gardener Kate Redpath. Hello Kate, I found you hard at work.
Oh, hi Carol, yes, yeah.
This is a brilliant garden, absolutely lovely. But you've not worked here that long?
No, I've been in charge for about a year now.
Now what are you actually up to?
I am potting up primulas at the moment. We've got a huge crop that have germinated in the path and also along the side of the water garden.
So you've done a bit of clearing here?
Yes, yeah, that's right. We've taken skunk cabbages out and because they're huge and invasive, and what's come up in its place is lots and lots of primulas.
Nature's amazing, isn't it? They've probably
yes.
sat there dormant and have just arrived.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do with all of these? Have you got a plan?
Yes, so we'll use some of them in other parts of the water garden and also sell them at our open days.
Okay, brilliant. Now the water garden, when was it developed?
Water garden dates from the 1920s, and that's when the Rhododendron family owned the property.
And it's looking really colourful at this time of year.
It is, yes, yes.
Especially like the astilbes.
They're looking good, and we've got the inula looking good. And
India gigantea.
Yes.
And I think that's a real sort of structural plant.
it is, it's very sturdy, yes.
Yeah, it doesn't need staking.
No, it doesn't need staking, nothing eats it. It's,
But I've been distracted because really I came to have a look at the heathers. So where do we go next?
So this is the way out of the water garden, up these giant steps.
Oh my goodness, look at the heather beds. Wow, they're so colourful at this time of year.
They are.
So do you think this was a natural choice of planting heathers because you're so high up here?
Yes, I think so. I think it mirrors what's out on the hill at this altitude. And these beds were laid out in the early 50s, I believe, by the late Lord Astor. The current owner, Philip Astor, is very keen to maintain the tradition of the heather beds.
Now you're saying 1950s, so these plants are roughly, what, 60 years old?
Yeah, it must be, yes. Yeah.
So it just shows if you maintain them right, that they're quite happy. So
yes.
What kind of pruning do you do?
These heathers get trimmed after flowering. That's as simple as that, really.
And do you just keep them as a sort of natural shape?
Yeah, trying to keep the natural shape in. I believe the original idea was a sort of cloud formation, so trying to maintain that look.
Yeah, I like that effect,
Yes,
definitely.
yeah.
How many varieties?
Originally 40 were planted.
My goodness.
But I'm not sure there are 40 now.
I just wonder how many plants as well. There must be thousands.
Yes, I don't know. It must have been.
And so colourful. I mean, in particular, I think the Irish heather's standing out at the moment.
It is. It's looking stunning, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got the dark purple, light purple, and the dark purple again, and a little bit of white over there as well.
Value for money plants.
Value for money, yes, yes. But got lots more colour up on the terraces if you'd like to come and have a look up there.
So what can you tell me about the house?
The house is Victorian, built in 1867, and if you look up on the rainwater hoppers you can see the date up there.
So it's nearly coming up to 150 years
old.
old.
It is, yes. And there's a bit of a royal connection with the house. It was built by James Clark, who's the son of Queen Victoria's physician. And I believe that Queen Victoria actually came along and laid the foundation stone for this house.
And this is late colour for this time of year.
It is, yes. These borders would have been planted specifically to look good at this time of year when the house is full of shooting parties.
And I know that you do a bit of staking, but I mean, you can't see it, so when do you put it in?
Early on, sort of end of May, beginning of June, when the plants are nice and low and you can get in amongst them.
And you've got some real good doers. I mean, the Monarda, there's no sign of mildew, which is pretty good.
No, I think that's down to the wet summer we've had this year, just constant damp, and the ground hasn't dried out and it hasn't succumbed.
And I really like the perennial sunflower, the helianthemum. It's gorgeous.
It is, yeah, yeah.
And doesn't require staking, does it?
No, it doesn't, no. It's got a very nice, stiff, upright habit.
And I love the colour because that golden yellow really reflects well with the nasturtiums.
Yes, the nasturtiums are a bit of a Tillypronie tradition. They were a favourite of Philip's father's and have been planted along these borders ever since. problem is they do only give colour at this time of year.
I know, it's a shame, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. So since Philip's marriage to Justine in 2012, Justine's brought a lot of ideas to the garden about how we can extend the colour. And these borders have been underplanted with a variety of bulbs actually, starting with snowdrops, then through to the chinodoxas, going on to the daffodils, narcissi, little species tulips.
That's brilliant. I mean,
Yes,
that's really
yeah.
adding interest, and I think that's important right through the year.
Yes.
What else have we got to look at?
I'd like to show you through to the rose garden. So here we've got one of the beds that hasn't been improved in the rose garden, and it's very traditional. Roses, formerly planted, lots of bare earth. And Justine asked me to come up with some underplanting ideas for this rose, which is the Queen Mother, and we've underplanted it here with Geranium sanguineum.
It's beautiful. I mean, Queen Mother, she's flowering her head off, isn't she? And the geranium, very similar colour.
It is, yes, it's a really nice, subtle match.
I think it's a brilliant idea. And I love the backdrop here with the buddleias as well. I mean, that's stunning.
Quite staggering, aren't they?
What's the soil type like?
Soil here, it's very mixed. There's a lot of rich, damp clays, but also a lot of glacial, moraine, very, very stony soil. Leads to the name Tillypronie.
Oh, I like that. Tillypronie for Tillypronie.
Yes, yes.
So I know that we've already perhaps mentioned that you have a couple of open days?
Yes, we're open for Scotland's Gardens June and August, and we're also open for private tours by arrangement.
And this is only part of the garden. I
It
haven't
is,
seen
yes.
half of it, have I?
No, you haven't. We didn't get around the main pond. We haven't seen the Golden Jubilee garden, the pinetum, and the cutting garden.
Oh, I'll just have to come back, Kate.
Yes, yeah.
You know, it's a lovely garden, absolutely beautiful, and such a